Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the one-on-one, and with me in studio tonight is the lovely Avril. Tonight I get to talk to her, find out more about her, and I'm sure you guys, also want to know a little bit about this star that you've seen grace your TV screens. She's got amazing videos, and a lot of people have called her Kenya's sweetheart. She's got that lovable and warm personality, and her style has evolved and matured with time. But before I get to chat with her, check her out for yourself.
I wish you'd see how pretty I look in the shoes that you bought for me. Kuna matime na tamani, ungeona how happy you make me. Oh, haijalishi kuwa haunioni, ninachodhamini ni mapenzi yetu. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe. I wish you'd see the stars in the sky, just to know how amazing they look. I wish you'd see me write this song for you. Alafu cheki wase wakibambika. Oh, haijalishi kuwa haunioni, ninachodhamini ni mapenzi yetu. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe kitu kimoja, sioni haya tukiwa pamoja. Mimi na wewe. Mimi na wewe. You use your heart to see what most would sight don't see. Waona kila jinsi ya kunihuisha, wafanya nihisi mapenzi ya kweli yapatikana. Mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe, mimi na wewe. Hey, turn it. Mimi na wewe.
Yay!
Yay.
Wow, awesome as usual.
Thank
How are you, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
Wow, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Beautiful, lovely as usual.
Thank you.
And you're here in the flesh.
Yeah.
Twitter is going crazy.
People have been tweeting me from
Yeah.
like 6 p.m. you know?
Yeah, everybody is
it's
excited
amazing.
to have you here, and
Yeah,
thank you
my
so
pleasure.
much for coming.
My pleasure.
So, Avril, I want to call you Nyabura because, So what do they call you at home?
They call me Nyambura. My mom is actually watching right now.
Yeah?
So like, hi mom, I love you.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So Avril, this is your stage name. I mean, how did that come about? Why Avril?
I was born in April, so French, Avril, yes.
Yeah.
For a very long time when I was in high school, I kind of like just coined the name for myself,
Yeah.
and it stuck. And later on during university and then later on in life, the name just stuck. So I just chose it to be my stage name, and that's how it's been.
Yeah, and you know, every artist has a story. Where did this begin for you? A lot of them started in the shower. Where did yours begin?
Mine didn't start in the shower. And for many artists, especially singers, their careers usually like start in the choir, in church and such. But for me, I really cannot like pinpoint. I was very much on stage, you know, always performing, doing this one thing or the other. So I think it's just something that grew.
Right.
And then my producer Lucas from Ogopa DJs identified it and just made sure he capitalized on it. So that's how it's been.
Yeah, but I want to go back to when you were in school, you know, because you seem very well spoken, you seem very confident. You seem like one of those girls who are probably either the head girl or a prefect or a teacher's pet.
Oh wow, teacher's pet, eh?
Yeah.
I was actually a school captain.
Okay.
Yes, I was a head girl for very many, in very many of my years in school. I was in one position of authority or the other when it comes to clubs, when it comes to organizations. And the highest position I did hold was, yes, school captain when I was in my A-levels.
Okay. And so, you know, we started seeing this little girl on our TV screens. You started with Mama. And then, you know, with time, you know, your style, you know, has matured, has evolved, you know, with Kitu Kimoja and my favorite, Hakuna Yule. But we'll get to those specifics and what those are all about. But, you know, we know you from Mama. Let's talk about that and just your growth.
Yeah. I have definitely grown in front of people's eyes. When I joined the industry, I was very young. I was in campus. I actually started my career when I was still at the university. I was in second year. So it was a bit confusing at first. Ogopa wanted to sign me a little bit earlier than my second year, but I felt like I wasn't very comfortable with being signed when I was 19 years old. So for me, it's been a fairy tale, man. You know those things you dream about and then they actually do come true. When the industry actually started growing in Kenya, especially the urban pop music started like evolving in Kenya with the Isas and the Namelesses and all these people, I got a fascination about the music industry. And for me, it wasn't really like a fascination about just the music, but being part of, you know, the creation of this music. So I consulted a few producers here and there when I was back in Nakuru. By the way, that's my hometown.
Oh, you're from Nakuru, by the way.
Yes.
Wow.
But you were Nakuru, Wako, they're watching.
I hope you haven't forgotten them because Nairobi has owned you now.
It has and has not. Because everywhere I go, I definitely tell people that I'm from Nakuru. Yeah, so I interacted with a couple of producers.
And you were in campus here, where?
In Nairobi, University of Nairobi.
University, studying what?
I was at the School of Art and Design under the Architecture, Design and Development, so under the School of Art and Design. I studied product design, graduated in 2010.
Yay, she's...
Yes, I'm a degree holder.
She is a diva, a graduate. So you know you've got to balance these things, even as you
You know, you are bombarded by all these people in boardrooms, and they want you to sign contracts. And if you do not have like a level of maturity, especially when it comes to your books, then you are definitely going to be swindled. Which is
fascinating about you because you still remained grounded. You're 19 years old. You get into this industry, and a lot of people perhaps would get, you know, distracted, you know, for lack of a better word. But you know, managed to get past school, graduate.
That is definitely the work of my parents, because they taught me to always stay grounded wherever, whenever. If anything happens, you always have to stay, you know, you just grounded.
So you were saying that this has served as a bonus for you, just being having gone through school. And
it definitely has.
In your musical career.
And just not the education that you get in school, but the people you get to interact with in school. All these people you get to interact with from different backgrounds also helps you to have the patience, first and foremost, and also the knowledge of how you can be able to deal with one person and then the next person. You have to learn how to, you know, interact with people. Okay.
So, you know, having spoken about school, I want to talk about your style, you know, your fashion sense. You also started with the Kangol. You would do, you know, the cap. And now, you know, you're sexier and then, you know, you've got this different hairdos and these sexy outfits. I love the way you do. I mean, do you dress yourself, like in your videos and whatever? Or do you have a stylist that you work with?
I actually, I do dress myself. but most of the times I get stuff from Achi Otigo.
Okay.
She was my classmate back at the University of Nairobi, and we have grown to become friends through the years. So most of my red carpet looks, you'll definitely see me in an Achi Otigo outfit.
Wow.
But the rest, when it comes to like now, such kind of things, that I just
But you always step out in style.
Thank
you. know,
you.
I'm on your Instagram checking out tips. You know, wow, how did she?
Oh,
figure
shucks,
this out?
making me blush.
Yeah. Let's talk about Kitu Kimoja. You know, a love song, so a bit of a change in your style of music. You're growing, you're maturing, and then you know Hakuna Yule. First of all, Kitu Kimoja is a much sought after song in weddings. Do you know that? Are you aware that a lot of people?
Someone sent me a tweet, and the tweet read, I'm just going to paraphrase it, just about to have our first dance as Mr. and Miss, and the song we are dancing to is Kitu Kimoja.
Wow.
I swear I cried.
Yeah.
I was like in tears. It's an amazing feeling when you get feedback like this from people. When you write a love song, you don't have like the whole world in mind. You probably have like an inspiration from one thing, a situation in your life, such kind of things.
So at that time,
I can be able to relate.
Love. At that time, you know, because as women, and I don't know about you artists, but you know, when you're in a good mood, you know, you're shining at work, you're doing things better. I mean, when you're in love, that is. You're in a good mood, you're shining at work, you're probably writing better songs. So I suppose at that time, it was a good time in your life.
It actually was not really a very good time in my life. I was speaking from a point of wanting to be in that space.
Okay.
So I put myself in that space and I just closed my eyes and I went like, Lucas, let's write this song. That song took me like 3 months to write. That's how hard it was, because when you're inspired by something that you're not really in, then it's a bit difficult. So I would write, rewrite, told to go and you know, do the thing all over again.
Which is what I like about you, because I think, you know, you're not as regular. You don't have a single every other week out there on the airwaves, but when we finally hear something from you, it's quality and it's good and it's deep, and I like that. And let's talk about Hakuna Yule. Were you talking about someone? It's sad, it's deep, you know. You know, you're missing somebody, and then in the video, it's this guy who has gone out to war, and then he never comes back home. It's really sad.
It was very sad. It was a very, very sad song. And the reason why we shot the video in that manner is because that was actually what inspired me, that particular song. Many a times we forget that the people who are in the military, in the police force, guys who are defending our borders, all these people have families. Someone who's stolen his heart back home, and we don't really see that. So for me, I was like, if I actually wrote a song as a wife to someone or a girlfriend to someone who is not home, how would that be? And then we just sat down and wrote it.
I love it. It's deep, and the message in it is, I mean, you sit down and you think, and it just cuts across borders. You know, if you're missing somebody that you love, or but talking about somebody that you love, Avril, I mean, guys have been like, ask her. You know, you've been linked to several gentlemen, you know, over the years, including Diamond, by the way. Was that for real?
No, it was not.
That was not for real. Okay, moving on swiftly. So Diamond was just work. This South African gentleman that you've been photographed with, that you're giddy about, that is, you know,
that I'm blushing
supposedly
about right now.
hot on your heels. Tell us about this guy.
Well, my Zulu man. Oh gosh.
And he has a name, your Zulu man. That's nice.
My Zulu man. He's actually watching right now, streaming live from Johannesburg. Yeah, I do have a man in my life.
You're turning red.
Finally,
Crimson.
man. Oh God, on national television.
Yeah.
I've been very private about my personal life because I didn't feel like exposing myself and making myself vulnerable until I found someone who I could be strong with. So I feel like I have found someone who I'm very strong around. I am very he makes me feel very confident about myself. And
so, wedding, are you engaged? Because there's been talk.
There's been talk about
you're taken. This is it, Kenyan guys. Forget it. She's gone.
We're actually making plans.
Wow.
We're actually quite serious. We are.
That is amazing.
So big up.
So, I mean, and this must be a relief for you because, you know, being in this industry and being a celebrity, sometimes you're not really sure who is after you because you're Avril, or who likes you because you're just Nyambura. And, you know, it's a bit of a challenge, I suppose.
It is a very big challenge. You don't know who's fake, who's real. And not only when it comes to relationship, but even just a simple friendship, of a simple friend.
That's right.
Of someone who just comes to your life. You do not know what they're after. So you always have to like keep up all these walls around you because you don't want to get hurt. So for me, that has been the story of my life for a very long time. And
you know, not for a very long time because you're I mean, somebody would be thinking, how old are you, Avril? Anyway, but you know, sometimes the experiences that we go through sometimes make us feel like we've lived decades and decades on this earth.
True.
I want to talk about cyberbullying and the fact that, you know, in the past you've unfortunately, you know, been, I don't like calling it a victim, but you've found yourself in a situation where you've had to answer to questions about certain alleged photos that were put out there. And I think for us as women, some of these things, you know, not even for us as women, just for any human being, this cyberbullying thing is getting out of hand. Tell us how, I mean, about this time for you and just what you went through and how you recovered from it eventually.
Wow. I still get very emotional when I think about all these things that have kind of like strengthened me and toughened me up. How I dealt with it, I just kept quiet for a while, because when you react, you know, in life, 10% is what happens to you, 90% about things in life is how you react to stuff. So for me, I just went into a quiet place in my head, in my space. I just went into a quiet place and I was like, how do I really want to react to this? Do I want to make it bigger, or do I just want to keep quiet and let them talk once they're done? Moving on swiftly. So for me, that's how I just reacted. I was like, you know what, people are going to talk. Whether you do good or bad, like, the people are going to talk. If you're fattening up, that's a problem to some people. If you're thin, that's a problem to some people. So you just live your life. You live your life. And to people out there who feel like they should, you know, they should wake up in the morning and spoil someone's day just because they can, imagine yourself in that particular situation. Because at the end of the day, it's not only that person that you are affecting, you're affecting their families.
That's
you're
right.
affecting, if you have children, you're affecting their children. If you are in a career, for instance, you're probably affecting that person's career. There's actually something that some people wrote not so long ago about me. I was starring in a role as a criminal, and they decided to put a headline, Avril now a criminal, and I lost an endorsement just because of that. So there are very many things that you will do and say that will directly affect someone. So
and you know, I was discussing this earlier on today with one of my mentors, and I was just telling her that this cyberbullying thing is getting out of hand. And I think it is time that as Kenyans that we just get responsible and just realize that, you know, these are people's lives that you're messing with. These are people's families that you're messing with.
That is so true.
But just, you know, going on now to, do you feel that made you more popular? I mean, because, you know, they say no publicity is bad publicity. At the end of the day, if people are talking about you, then you're a big deal. Just very quickly on that as we move on to other things.
If the world gives you lemons, hey, squeeze them up, put them in put some honey in, put some water in, drink, enjoy life.
You're cute, but you're a toughie. you're those silent criminals, quote unquote. You don't even want me mentioning that word again. But you know, we're now seeing you doing a lot of acting. You know, Sumula Penzi and Sugar as well.
Sugar,
yes. I think your debut was on Sugar. You know, acting. That's when we first saw you on the screen.
Yes, it was a cameo. And in Sugar, Love, Sex, Money, the first one, the one that was shot in Kenya. No, the second one that was shot in Kenya. I acted the role of Misbehave. And it was a very personal role because I was an actress and I was playing my life.
Really?
I was the singer, but then again, in front of the camera, I had to be, again, the persona behind the singer. And that's something that I would never do. You know, when you come to a space like this, you know, I'm Avril and I am going to be Avril. But Sugar made me like expose the other side of me, and it was very therapeutic.
Did you relate to some of those scenes and feel like you were actually living your life?
I actually did, because there's a scene where I went for HIV testing, and I was alone. You see, like you said, you never know who your fake friends are and who your real friends are. And in that particular setting, there was all these fake people in Misbehave's life, and she was all alone. So many times by that as Avril, I find myself in such situations where you don't really know who's who.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you find yourself alone. Yeah, but I thank my mom, my brother, because they're my best friends.
I suppose you find yourself, you know, in the limelight like this, and you know, you get stronger, and you learn how to just deal with every curveball, you know. Yes. We celebrate you, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you.
You know, going forward, what are we expecting to see? Of course, you know, you've told us about your Zulu man, and you told us, you know, about your music and the fact that you're growing. So what are we expecting to see from you going forward?
Quite a lot of stuff, actually. Over the years, I've been talking about entrepreneurship, and it's something that I'm very passionate about, not because my name is Nyambura, but I'm very passionate about entrepreneurship. And there's so many variety of projects that I've been doing here and there, including my earphones. People have there's some people who have been talking a lot of crap, asking me why I've taken so long, but hey, business is not easy. You have to do stuff slowly, have a strategy to your madness, because if you don't have a strategy to your madness, it's just madness.
That's right.
So for me, I'm taking it slow because I want it to be perfect. I just don't want to bring in stuff and people start wondering what I was trying to do. Yeah, so there's a lot of entrepreneurship in the future. There's also a lot of productions coming up, and a lot of music as well. Just going
so
all around.
Big things happening. Somebody here is tweeting and saying, I hope you're not going to Kunu. I hope you're not leaving. I hope you're not leaving us, you know, at least stick around for a while.
No, I'm Kenyan. I'm Kenyan, number one.
Okay. So, you know, just as we wind up, you know, I think what I'm getting out of your story is and particularly with you rising above the cyberbullying and just, you know, saying, I'm Avril, I'm going to keep doing me, and going to that quiet place, that place that you spoke about. A lot of young people, you know, a lot of people who are just trying to make it in this industry, and not only for performing artists, but just generally people who are new at the workplace. You know, people are going through a lot of opposition, particularly on social media. So, you know, what do you tell guys who are dealing with some of this, you know, harsh and negative energy, who are trying to rise above that? What do you say to those people?
Especially to the young girls out there. I know it's very, very hard. I actually get like texts and emails and messages all the time about such frustrations. And for me, my advice would be, just don't be, first and foremost, don't be naive. Don't believe everything and anything that you hear. Because many times you find, like, recently there's some ladies who have been texting me and telling me that there's some people who are conning them off money, registering about modeling and blah blah. Don't be naive. You need to do a little bit more research in what you want to do. If you want to be a musician, talk to musicians, talk to people who are in the industry. We are all on Facebook, we are all on Twitter nowadays. If you send a message, if you're serious about the message, probably it's going to be answered.
Right.
So just do your research, don't be naive, and dream.
Yeah, and be strong. I think
just be strong.
It's just, you know, a lot of people celebrate you, so even
be very strong.
While the negative energy is coming your way,
it's not just about the glitz and glam in this industry. You have to really be a strong person, especially when it comes to the East African market, because you have so much talent everywhere. So you have to rise above. You know, you have to rise above the rest.
That's
it's
good.
not just about the glitz
and this
glam.
is totally unrelated. Before you do for us, Hakuna Yule missing you. Somebody's asking your hair, Avril. Wow, that's like, you know, amazing. It's natural. It's blonde. It's
my hair is natural, actually. I don't have any
chemicals
on it. It's very natural. But I've colored it. This is not my natural hair color. My hair color is a bit darker.
So mom and dad, very supportive, love
very
what you
supportive,
do.
yes.
Siblings?
My brother, my younger brother, I live with him. We stay together here in Nairobi. He's studying, so...
So you're the firstborn?
I am the firstborn.
Wow.
We're just two.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, thanks so much for coming through. Thank you for you know, being as pleasant and as lovely as always, and indeed for being a soldier for all the ladies out there who, you know, perhaps would go through, you know, as harsh, as much of an unprecedented backlash as you did back then, and still rise above that and still shine. And that endorsement is coming, and many more, I'm sure. So forget, you know.
And my businesses, so hey.
Yeah.
I heard that you're doing a fashion thing.
Oh yeah.
So
come by.
We shall be coming very soon.
Okay, cool, man. You know, Hakuna Yule, that's my favorite.
Yes,
so,
and I will definitely perform that for you.
Elijah. Looks like rain is coming. Need the money when your money wrapped up in my arms. I reminisce my baby. Do ya go like how you smile, like how you say my name? It's just your voice I long to hear. Like how you smell, like how we bang. Oh my baby, it's your touch I want to feel. I'm missing you, and words can't explain. I feel I'm insane when you are away. When we just na furaha ya kipekee, sitaki mwingine. Ugali nyama na sukuma, baby nishaanda, 'cause I know that's what you like. Keep on looking at my phone,